Greetings, everyone. Welcome. We've made it to the midweek on Going Optimal, and I asked chat, and we've decided to jump into a premiere draft today. Best of one here in Zendikar Rising. Thank you for that sub. Keeping it surreal. 22 months. That's crazy. That means I've almost been on for 2 years. That's right. My 2-year stream anniversary is coming up. It's easy for me to remember because it shares my son's birthday. So my stream anniversary is going to be on November 21st. Unbelievable. It feels like it's gone by in a heartbeat, but also this year has warped time so much that it also feels like it's been a decade. I don't know. Time is elastic, shall we say. Drafting is elastic too if you are willing to stay open in your seat, which we'll try to do today. We're going to draft the hard way as usual and look for the open seat first and foremost. If we find, when you draft the hard way and it pays off, it's like the best feeling in this game. You know, when you stay open and you make a tough pick and you make a tough hedge, and then the table says, boom, that thing is that thing you hedged on, it's wide open, and you dive in and just get the sick hookup, and your deck is amazing, not because of the pack one, pick one that you're not even playing anymore, but because you're getting second, third, and fourth picks, 8th, 9th, and 10th, right? I love that. So we're going to try to draft the hard way as usual. When I buy cards, though, I do it the easy way, and that's going to cardkingdom.com. They're my sponsor. They are purveyors of everything you need for your physical game, tabletop style. They can't really help you with gems and gold in Arena, although if you want to turn your cardboard into dollars to turn into gems and gold, they can. They got one of the best buy lists in the industry. Their inventory is incredible. Their shipping speed is incredible. As I say, though, they don't ship. They hire other people to ship, but they prep your packages so quickly, and they have such a great relationship with the local USPS and all the delivery folks that they get their stuff picked up on the regular and get it to you right quick. So between speed and quality and price and inventory and quality of humans involved, I could not recommend my lovely sponsor, Card Kingdom, more. And I do request that you check them out via my affiliate link in the panels, in the chat notes, or in the YouTube video notes. Thank you so much. Now then, let's dive in. I'm gonna go to the draft view. What does the table have for us today? Hey, Zach, how you doing? Oh, that's right, Tron. I forgot that that was how you found the stream. That's funny. That was a heck of a match. I played a best of 3 against Reed Duke in a bot-based Esper control mirror in Ravnica Allegiance, and it was one of my greatest stream matches. In terms of fun, it was just incredible. Is it worth taking the Awakening? This is pretty powerful. The Ruin Crab is pretty powerful. I guess I just take the Spland here, right? I mean, this is a powerful effect. Oh, really, Oil Can? Funny. Yeah, you found that was quite a day for you to show up, too. Zach says no crab. Zach is funny. We actually had a conversation long ago. Zach sent Marshall and I'll take the Mythic. We'll give this a try. The crab is a fine pick, though. Yeah, Zach, way back at the beginning of Limited Resources in 2009, emailed Marshall and me looking for reassurance that his loss to a crab, what was it called there? It's not even what was the crab in Zendikar? It was a ruined crab in Zendikar. I forget what it's called now. Let's focus on this pick, though, too. I don't want to mess this up. Hedron crab, thank you. So we one of my first conversations with Zach was over 10 years ago about the value of Hedron crab. So kind of funny. What are we taking here? Exploration, playable, but not that great in my experience because of the lack of land, ability to play land. Night Runner is interesting and potentially a black red party deck. We could take Gloom Hunter. Another Spikefield Hazard is fine though. Rabid Bite is okay, but yeah, I mean, this is removal on a land. I'm gonna take it. This is a good one, and here's another one we could take. The Shepherd jumps out at me. Yeah, this is this is pricey, but if you have 3 black and 6 mana, this is gonna do something. If you can build your deck a little bit around it, pick up your Skulkers and whatnot. Yeah, these are the 2 that are appealing to me, but since we have one of these already, we're in this color already, let's take another Hazard. All Splans, all draft. We could take that. I'm less impressed with this one. It can finish a game, though. I mean, that's the thing. You draw this off the top better than a Swamp, right? If you're in turn 12. That being said, we could... Here's another Shepherd. We don't have to... We're not married to really either of these colors. And if we don't take a red-black card, what are we taking? We're taking Shepherd or Royal Mage. So is it worth a Shepherd or a Royal Mage to pass as off? I'm going to say no. Fine. I'll just keep splanding. This is not the best spland. It doesn't really do what you want. This is be a funny pick after 4 splans in a row. Hellion. But we can get these a little later. Kind of like the Subtle Strike. Yeah, Jinx likes the strike. I think I'm in on Subtle Strike over, like, I like Gnarlid Colony as well, but we're not green yet. Hellion is sweet, but we don't want a bunch of them. We want like 1, or in this case, maybe 2. This is already worth 2. But I'm going to take the Subtle Strike. I'm going to go with a 2-drop removal over the 5-drop. Archon of Emeria still here at rare, because really it's like a wind elemental with some minor upside and in terms of the non-basics, and then a equivalent effect on each side. So not as exciting. Kind of would rather just have a champ. Although, yeah, I think Champ is fine, and Archon is not that great. I like Field Research as well, but Champ is good enough on colors we already have. Molten Blast. Kite Sail can go reasonably in a deck like this. Sneaking Guide can be good if you pick up some of the Saboteurs, the creatures that do something when they connect. But yeah, Blast is fine, right? Oh, this is weird. We are 7 picks in. We have 1 creature right now, so let's keep that in mind. But Molten Blast is good enough. Ambusher, kind of an underwhelming 2-drop. There's some really good 2-drops in red, and this is kind of not one of them. But it does make the champ a 4-power, and late game it's something to do with the mana. It's just not the one I want, you know. But I'm not switching colors here for anything else we're seeing. Cleansing Wildfire does some splash support. Dreadworm could be the top end of this, but also we could say take the Protector or even the Wildfire on the chance we might not play black. Like, we could get out of black and end up doing something Landfall or Boros if the white is still open. So given that we're talking about a Dreadworm, I'm going to go ahead and take the Wildfire here. And then a Night Runner comes back around, suggesting that maybe we are in a decent place, because this is a rogue. Usually you get your rogues from black when you're doing party stuff in red-black, but we'll at least take the Grotag Night Runner, and then, yeah, continue to ask ourselves whether we're really a black deck here or not. Given that we are not sure that we are, I really don't want to play a second Ambusher, but I'm going to send a color signal here. I'm at least going to take the playable red card out of the pack, and I'm even going to put it in the sideboard now as a little mini prayer that we don't have to play the second one. So Reclaim still being here, Hound still being here suggests that potentially red-green landfall is a lane we could slide into. Those of you who've been watching of late know that that's not a place I want to be. But if the table forces you there, you can do worse. Base camp is looking to do 3+ color party, and that's not really where we're at. I'd rather just have a sneaking guide. Sneaking guide with Grotag Night Runner is a combo, actually, so that's not the worst. What do we see here, though? We can take a Relic Axe under the presumption that the warriors are going to be heavy in our deck. We could take... Again, if you thought of us as not... Like, I would say make the pick as though this were our situation. If this were our situation, what would your pick here be? And it might even... Yeah, it might be removal still. It might be Vanquish, in which case, hey, cool. We're on the right track. I think we can wheel the champ. I think we can wheel the champ and maybe even the axe. So I think with this, with true only red, I'd be looking at champ and like Vanquish. And then the fact that we also have black to consider makes me want to take the Vanquish. I'm going to lean towards the black card here and see if that pays. Ugh, this didn't pay. This is ugly. Not good cards here. It makes me almost want to take a Falconer and hedge blue. We did not see blue open. So if we took blue here, we would be it would be a pack 2 color. We wouldn't really expect to see it in pack 3. Predation. Trouble is Jinx, both of these wheel. I think we can take Predation, and I think both of these wheel, and or one of them will. Relic Amulet, interesting. We could just take a Feed the Swarm for more removal. We can start getting our creature base on. We do need some 2-drops here eventually, but maybe these wheel. And first feed over kind of random 2s. Yeah, it's true. We can actually splash black now using all these splans. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3 splans that could be the source of black splash. But yeah, well, there is. We'll see it. We'll see how the open the blue looks the other way. But yeah, red blue could have been good here. There was definitely a red-blue path that we could have landed on. Here we go. This is the type of 2-drop in red that I want to see. Bug Catchers, Premium, Ambushers, whatever. Wouldn't mind a Subtle Strike or a Spellcraft on the way back. I have all but stopped rare drafting on my account because I don't need the gems, but I continue to say... you don't need to feel badly about rare drafting, and in fact, it is probably the gem optimal choice in a lot of cases. It's a tough math place, but it's going to be close at least, you know. So if you're tempted by rares, you can go for it. More splans, but we have a second Vanquish. I think now I take a second Vanquish over a Rebirth. Vortex, not really playable. A good gem spot, though. We could take the Skitter Sneak, given that we're trying to broaden our tribe. And this is a rogue and a creature. I'm going to actually... so this is a great spot to rare draft if you are not gem independent. If you are someone who runs out of gems often and are trying to scrap your way, we're going to take the Sneak because it might make the cut here. But Roiling Vortex is what I would recommend for anybody looking to manage their gems optimally. Fissure Wizard's a good pickup here. Don't really have wizards yet. Really, we don't have party payoffs yet, but still good to broaden that a little bit. We're going to take Gloom Hunter number 1. We're going to wheel a Scorch Rider, I believe. champ came around and the axe came around as we hoped. You take axe. Probably going to get more chances at champs in the upcoming packs. Let's take the axe. This was the pack that had vampire and one of those 4/3 kickers in red. We could take the vamp. Adds another warrior. Yeah, vampire is fine. We can drop it on 4 and make the champ a 4 power, for example. Take barrage here and try not to play it. Pack 1, pick 1. We took Agadim's Awakening over Ruin Crab. Hey, look. Got the rare anyway. I don't think I've ever seen a last pick rare against humans, against anybody on Arena. That's crazy. Rockslide Sorcerer is interesting. We don't have a lot of wizards. So I think we should just take the 2-drop rare. It's not a bad rare for us. It's not a bomb, but it's a very high efficiency creature. But yeah, Mace, Rogue, Sorcerer, all the rare and all 3 uncommons would slide into this deck. Although again, Sorcerer not at its best here. Mace might wheel. I think, yeah, we're probably the only black-red drafter, usually, so. Angel of Destiny, strong card as well. I've had that in a deck, and it won me a lot of games on its alt win con. We're going to take Acquisition Expert, though, over Subtle Strike. If you were rare drafting, though, passing mythics is tough. You can take all the mythics you want, and I'm not going to look at you funny. Creature count currently 13. That's not bad. Where we could have been, relative to where we could have been. Could take gems here. Really unhappy with the options, but I'll take a kicker warrior. Drain is also a reasonable option. We could look at Curve, I suppose, but yeah, we could also just with Scorched Rider and Highborn again in the pack, we could take the rare. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's model some rare drafting. This is totally fine. Another fine spot. Like, we'll take whatever wheels out of this and be happy. Well, I'm going to take Scion. Not very good in this deck. Are we doing anything to gain life anywhere? Not really. I guess Zoff consumption. Yeah, not... there you go. Bat. Gloomhunter, and Gloomhunter is the more realistic way. We'll take it over the Dreadworm in case... This is not very exciting in our deck, which is funny, because in the right deck, this is nuts. In the right deck, this is like so fast, a 5/5 flyer. Interesting, another rare. But we have a Thundering Rebuke we're going to take. So I'll rare draft when the cost is pretty low, but Thundering Rebuke too good. We're going to take that. Hey, I like this warrior quite a bit. We're kind of heavy warrior, light everything else, but we don't even have payoffs for everything else anyway, so. Join the team, Vanguard. Valakut Awakening to continue the Spland nonsense. This one, I guess if you actually do this, you'd be, if we were pitching a bunch of lands, we would be happy about that. There's not much else going on here. I'm not going to take Muck Lord. Don't need another Wildfire. In fact, I'm going to cut the one that's in the deck. Sneaking Guide to not play Amiria Captain. If we had any kind of splash, might be interesting with all of our support here. All support's not even that great. Like, how many wizards do we have? We have like, yeah, 1 wizard. A lot of warriors. Decent zombies, but only one wizard, one cleric. So we're not really that much of a party deck anyway. And I'm hoping to not play either of these. Ah, well, our mace didn't come back around. That's too bad. We're going to take Scorch Rider, though. Another warrior to consider in the 2 slot. We have one in the sideboard already, though. Another Scorch Rider. Yeah, I'll take that. What thinks we're drafting Theros? $60 gems on the grind. Let me make a note of my draft result here, so I don't forget that. No, the Hellion, that's like the only Hellion we saw. I passed a Hellion pack 1, pick 6, 7, 8-ish, something, maybe more like, yeah, no, 5. Like it was pretty early. It was like pack 1, pick 5, because we were thinking 4 splans into a 5th pick Hellion, and I didn't take it. It felt a little early, and then we just never saw one. Literally, I don't think we ever saw one again. But we are going to be red, gold, 1,500 in gems, and we ground 60 there. All right, well, let's cut that so we get our land looking correct. All right, all the splans are over. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on top of the 17. So 23 land spells currently. 22, 21, 20. They're evenly split. I go like 19, I think, is where we'd want to be here. Although with this, maybe I want... Yeah, we got... Oh, Rolling Vortex isn't a card. Hound isn't a card. Two ambushers. What's our creature count? 16. Could cut one of these ambushers. Where does that leave us? Quite the medium bottom end here. Hey, what do you know, Jinx? Jinx is not super fond of this predation, to say the least, but found a use for it recently. You just pitched it to you pitched it. That's your joke. Three mana peak? You mean P-E-E-K? Like the... I don't know what you mean. Because peak, the card peak drew you a card. I'm going to run it. And let's see, where are we at? Oh, I thought we were at we're at 41 still. Did I add something back? 15, 13, maybe cut a non-creature here. What's our worst non-creature? Let's split them up. Feeds, it's all removal and an axe, so it's like, how are we gaining life? Oh, we have a very narrow ability to gain life with Gloom Hunter, and yeah, the Zoff consumption, but I'm not even really counting that. I am counting this Scion as a 3/3 flyer for 5 that we're grudgingly playing, and that if we get lucky, sometimes it could get bigger. But it is just a shrug. I guess we run this. We could go down to 14 creatures too if we liked all of our removal. But I think we could get rid of the blast, and that would be okay. Rob says Subtle Strike. I like the Subtle Strike. Calling Scion very bad seems odd to me because it's a 3/3 flyer for 5. That's its floor. Its floor is below average, but a 3/3 flyer for 5 is not a very bad card. It's just below average. And of course, the question is always over what? I mean, we could cut this. You could make it a final cut, but I think we don't have a lot of flying defense either. Like this and the Gloom Hunter are the only stuff we have in the air. And if possible, it's nice to not have to use your hard removal on flyers, because if you don't have flying defense, you basically need to hard kill all flyers with removal. Yeah, color-wise, Scorched Rider is just strictly better, right? Human Warrior, unless for whatever reason vampires, but yeah, no, Kicker, this is just better. But we're running all 3. I mean, if we had to cut one, I'd cut the vampire, yeah. Well, it's not. I mean, Tempest is play. I've had to play Tempest. If we were in a spot where we were in a blue deck and we're out of playables, I would grudgingly play the Tempest too. I mean, this has tribal relevance, but yeah, let's be clear. I'm not calling this card excellent. I'm distinctly calling it below average in this deck, but to call it bad, I think, is wrong. I wouldn't call the Tempest is just it's funny. The line on playables, I feel like we have these cards that are in that 22nd to 26th slot, and we just call that 26th card like bad, when really it's just narrowly not what we want to be doing, which I think that is the same with that 3/3 flash flyer. I think of bad as the stuff way at the bottom of the list that you just never want to play, the Fs. Yeah, that's true. We could just be a little. You could go down to or maybe we cut one of the splans even. That we could let the predation go and have more untapped land action. Because if we cut like a basic land, we have 12 lands that enter untapped. That's too much. Yeah, Stone Cold Unplayable is like 24th, right? Hey, Nicole. Yeah, generally I've been landing on 18 or 19 total lands, including spell lands. And then that gives us a spot where, so for here we have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that means on a natural 17 land situation, you're earmarking like 2 of these as spells. But hey, if you flood, they can be more. If you get screwed, they can be all land. So it's kind of a nice space. I think that that 18-19 range lets you kind of express that you do want to use some of them as spells, but that it's in a nice place where it handles both the flood side and the screw side of mana issues. All right, let's make a cut and play. I think I'm going to leave 19 land because of that, because we have so many splans. And I think we can cut... I'm going to cut the Molten Blast now, but I'm wondering if it should be the Highborn Vampire. So I'm going to cut the Blast and say, should I have just cut the Vampire instead? But I want to keep my creature up creature count up somewhat reasonably here. I don't think this deck is great, but we've done fine. You know, we've found some wins with underwhelming decks. Maybe we can do that today. So, yeah, Jinx likes the blast. We'll come back and make changes. I want to get playing, though. So we'll keep that possible swap in mind. I kind of want to call this like 24 because we're talking about narrow not playables. I feel like I have a lot of 24th cards in this deck. That's why I was trying to make a day joke. You like the guide? What is the guide doing, though? Getting Grotag through? How about Axe the Bat? Because that's what we really want to do. I'm going to do that so we can get playing. What do you want sleeve-wise, Mama? I didn't see. And then we have Mirage Lands for Paul. Six, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have more early red, but our awakening requires 3 black. I guess we're gonna still... I want to support the early red better. And if we get the Aghadim's awakening, great. If not, it's a land. And good enough. Here we go. How do you think we're going to do, everybody? If we were to play this out 1,000,000 times. I'll take 4 wins. I don't love this deck, so if we get 4 wins, I'm going to call that a victory. Heck, if we get paired, I'm going to call that a victory at this point. I'm surprised Premier is taking this long. Yeah, people largely have this in the 3 or 4 range. Oh, Swords for Mama, I'll get remind me, and I'll get there after this game. That would be a good reason. You're right, I should update my stuff. This is a snap keep, though, for sure. Let's go battlefield right, and then get this stuff updated. Yikes. All right, then. Was going to drop the bug catcher, but actually we want an ambusher here to threaten to block the charger. Well, I'm going to block. If they use resources from hand to kill the ambusher, we're happy about that. The champ is here. Subtle Strike. Does Subtle Strike get us out of this? Subtle Strike reduces the charger to a 1/1 and makes our ambusher a 2/4. And then we eat the 1/1 and it can't kill the 2/4. We take 4 from the Expedition champ, but all seems worth it to me. We could also just play the Fissure Wizard and threaten to just block the charger directly with the wizard and take 2 to the face. So those are the 2 real choices here. Play Fissure Wizard and look to block with that, or hold the Subtle Strike. The problem with the Fissure Wizard play is they could remove it, and then we're really stuck. So I am going to try to get it done with the strike. The problem with the strike play is that we might be blown out on trying to play the strike play. Or if something happens where we don't play it, we could go with no mana spent this turn. Highborn Vampire, by the way, was my last-minute possible replacement for... oh, this is interesting. Yeah, Strike could even block the Champ. But not anymore because of what's gone here. So now we're gonna... yeah, and Molten Blast would be much better than Highborn. Although, no, maybe not much better. I mean, Highborn's going to come down and be a blocker and be quite relevant. So they're actually pretty close here, I think. Yeah, as a coward, we can't be blocking any warriors here. So I think we just need to Subtle Strike the Intimidator and put a counter on the Ambusher. Oh, can it block? But that's not how it works. I think it... Oh, yeah, no, you're right. That is how it works. Never mind. Totally, that works. Let's do it. Although we then are trading... are you sure you want to trade the Ambusher for the Charger? Because we'd be doing that. Although it's just the Ambusher, so maybe that's fine, too. We'd basically be trading Subtle Strike and Ambusher for Charger and Intimidator, and that's a reasonable trade, right? It also shrinks the Champ. We could Predation here as one of the last times where we might have a reasonable chance to get something. Or we can just play this as land, not worry about it. Yeah, we have too much to do on board development, right? We're going to have to let the Predation go. So let's just play either Highborn Vampire or 2-spell. I guess if we... 2-spell. Yeah, if we play the Vamp, it can block and live here, but Utility Knife says it can't really, so maybe that's a fine trade anyway, though, because Wizard and Bugcatcher can't trade with it. So sure, let's play the thing that can technically trade. Yeah, it can't eat, but it can still trade, so we'll play the thing that can trade. Yeah, and if they want to spend their whole turn trading, we're also cool with that. Yep, we're going to take this offer. Zoff Consumption, you say. Makes me want to play Predation as land and prepare for this later. We can do this. You want to do this as land and this later? Certainly we're going to do Wizard and Catcher here and try to trade Wizard for Sword. Yeah, let's check Predation to Wizard and start there. Good call. I think we ditch Predation because we want to get cards on board and then they're going to empty their hand. And as a warrior deck, they may have a lot of stuff under 3 yet, so... That's true. They did play Takedown as a land. You gotta ditch Zoff. Yeah, maybe we'll ditch Zoff. One of these two had to go, though. I'm gonna play this as land, and then we have potential Scorched Rider next turn. I don't know. Down to 0 here. Certainly playing Bugcatcher. And I'm just trying to figure out if we're playing Predation or intending to cast it. If we play it as land, we could draw another land and kick Scorched Rider. I'm going to do that. If we draw a 2-drop, we can now double spell. So we could have gotten the Felidar if we had done Predation, but no, we don't have any land bounce, unfortunately. We passed an early Hellion and never saw another one. What if we go... I can kick Scorch Rider. Trouble is, this is going to get immediately out of hand. Like, I'm going to do it, but, like, I think we're in trouble here. And Scorch Rider is just going to trade with Sellsword here, but I still think we have to do it. Like, our plan here is to find removal for the Felidar and then win after that. Perfect draw from Oppo there. So we're just going to take this, sadly. I mean, they find their last... All right, now, yeah, it's not looking great. I'm going to do that now, partly because we have the champ to do that with Kataski. Maybe I was greedy, though, and should have done that a turn sooner. The idea Kataski, though, was playing to outs. It looks like an aggressive, bad play, but we were playing to the chance of... Like that, if we top deck removal, then we're in a really good spot there, and that was the thought, that we can't really win unless we find the removal. In this case, we're going to offer the trade here. Well, let's see, 4. Yeah, we can't even 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can't do that. We had a chump. Yeah, we still might find the feed and live though. I'm going to go with the bug catcher on chump duty since we're on the back foot. Yeah, 2-mana kill spells the out. Well, it's not the out, but it's something that keeps us alive. Maybe we can gang block now. Well, regardless of even what we can get back, I'm going to max this out and see. So we go Highborn, Vamp, and Champ. And Catcher. Oh, wait. We want Ambusher. Yeah, that was not the top deck we were calling for, but it could do the work here. I'm going to play lands out because if we get one more basic, we can triple activate the Ambusher. Which could actually be how we, we send it in, right? It could be a way to get there. Still looking for now our feed. If we get our feed, we can go to 1 and get rid of the Felidar. Bat would be good, you're right. Getting some life crawling the other way. Come on, feed. That's interesting. We can start getting something through. Valakut says we want to hold land. True, but Ambusher says we want to play land. I don't know. Well, we can't attack with the Intimidator this turn. Yeah, we could pass for now. If we could also attack for 3. We have quite a bit back on D. But 1, 2, 3. Yeah, with 6 mana, we can threaten 5 here. 5 plus. Yeah, all right, we'll pass. Yeah, we could activate and make Coward, right? But I want to make sure if Oppo top decks removal for that we have enough remaining to gang block and kill. So I'm going to be a conservative here and say no attacks. It's possible there was, like, the absolute correct thing there was to find an attack, but I just went conservative. With 2 creatures, we can't make multiple cowards. That's interesting. I don't know if that means something about here, but we don't have much to do here, but I'm going to put these 3 on. Okay, if they want to re-equip, I'm down. We need this Felidar dead. So I'm going to put all these on and pump. Yeah, maybe Oppo is just trying to get there before we get there, but we're still in fine shape here. Maybe they just want Trample Catcher here. Got our own axe. We could throw the axe on the ambusher. We can actually throw this around. We could start it on the ambusher, send it in. Or maybe just keep it back. Let's at least put it on the ambusher here. And maybe we send the Intimidator in. Yeah, we might have been able to, like, I could have equipped, attacked, and then re-equipped, but then I don't have the pump on the ambusher. And I want 1 pump on the ambusher, but we can still go, yeah, we do the re-equip thing, we don't have the pump, Rob. By my math. Maybe I missed that math, but let's go. Like this. And then like that. And now we have a block and win with, or block and trade with Ambusher with the pump, or a chump with the wizard if they kill our Ambusher. Yeah, maybe they never blocked there, but we didn't need the mana anyway, so better to, if we really wanted to be sure we hit, unless we want, if we would have preferred the trade, then sure. That's still okay, because we get to pump and trade if they come at us. Make coward? I don't know what that does. Oh, because it shrinks it. Sure, sure, sure. Can I do that? I thought it would be like in addition to, but it's not in addition to. Anyway, we go block. And then we can do it. Looks like it didn't matter, but it kept us. It gave us. It matters a little bit. Put us at 4 instead of 3. And then we get axe on the Intimidator. Wow. Yeah, I should have given him +1. Sorry, I'm playing quickly. That was a mistake.
Help me remake this world.
Heck of a draw from Oppo. Oh, of course we draw land. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? Yeah, send runner, but are we sending it at Nahiri? Re-equip card, make the token a coward. But if we, yeah, I like that line. I think math has our best chance here. If we go, we can't leave ourselves dead to a crackback, so I got to leave the runner back. But I'm going to go runner to Nahiri, and then with the pump and trample, we get Nahiri one way or the other here.
I was too harsh.
All right, back to stable. Come on! Oh, Oppo, you took 12 years to do that? I guess with the speed I play, sometimes I deserve that, but come on. It was just like the snap play. Oh, Lord. Whatever. Thanks, Deck. Well,
very dead, Mr. Spock.
I had one punt in there that like missed a damage, but overall I was pretty happy with how we found our lines there. Didn't work out, but come on. Sure. The 2-color warrior deck running the stupid party land. Great. Yeah. With the exception of missing that point of damage, I really liked how we played it. I just... we got magicked. I will take on that opponent with their deck and ours with ours anytime. I think we have an advantage there. Yeah, I can also certainly believe that I missed a line for the win, so maybe I'm patting myself on the back for play too much. We're going to keep and play the Awakening as land. Thank you for that sub. I like getting the Night Runner here. We can play it on 3 and have a Vanquish or a Feed. We did not have a 2-drop of our own, though, which is too bad. But yeah, we'll play the Night Runner here and see what we can accomplish on our 4th turn. All right, well, let's vanquish Linvala and then look to feed the Blade Master later. I shouldn't have played that land. That was a bad habit coming to get me, because we might hit land with a runner, but oh well, at least I saw after. Yeah, too bad. Too bad I played a land. Yeah, now it's not worth attacking anyway, so I still shouldn't have done it. I mean, I should have made them do the right thing instead of play my land out, but looks like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the result, but it matters to my head. I need to be thinking about my land plays more cleanly than I did there. All right, speaking of, I'm not going to play land. We do have an Awakening we could play as land. We're going to try a feed here, though. All the open mana makes me nervous. But let's feed the Swarm and see if they've got something, and then we can adapt after that. We could also... Yeah, with the Vanquish, we could just swing. I kind of feel like, though, I should... Yeah, with the Vanquish, we could swing and then decide what to do after. All right, let's attack and then use Vanquish as our friend. And with the Into the Royal play being the play, I like letting this resolve, playing the Awakening, taking 3 life, and both feeding the Blade Master and replaying the Runner. Feed this turn is mana inefficient? Nah. Also, we're way away from... We're pretty far from casting this, so I'm going to play as land. Well, I'm different from you all, I guess. I'm going to kick the rider next turn. Are you kidding? Watch. Ooh, interesting. Now I'm just going to play a unkicked rider and have the hazard. I could play the hazard to ensure kicked rider next turn, but I like having that as damage. Yeah. Because I'm a terrible Magic player, I guess. I get a little focused on using feed on small things, for one thing. And it was a way to use all 5 mana on that turn. Yes. Hazard that I didn't have would have been correct for a 1 toughness creature. Well, we get a free hit with a Night Runner at least. Vanquish it. Nothing to play here, but we have the Hazard. Oppo, I think, debating whether they're attacking or blocking here, whether they're aggressive or, you know, just trying to get me dead or trying to stop my grow tag. Gloomy is nice. Start with a grow tag attack, though. Wow, I actually kind of wanted the land there. I'm going to save Gloom Hunter, and I'm going to play Scorched Rider and Axe it, and make sure we're getting value out of our runner. Maybe I should just let this go and make the 3/3 lifelinker. But I think we can survive, and then Gloom Hunter next turn and have the ability to potentially Axe it for there. So I'm going to do that. Do we want it on the rider? I might just want it on the runner. If we put it here, the axe, yeah, it only gets 1 toughness, so I'm going to put it on the Night Runner. Yeah, I was mainly trying to see that if we put the axe on the rider, it still just trades with the wizard if the wizard attacks, so... Dominated. But if they're out of gas, we're okay. We're just going to Gloom Hunter kicked and then have Hazard and Night Runner back. And if they don't have anything here, I mean, if they swing in, obviously we have forced blocks. That's how it's going, I guess. It's my world. Damn it. Numbers. Come on. No, really none. Jikerman. I just strongly disagree. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I just strongly disagree. I don't know what I'd be playing that thing for. What? Why? Like, seriously, what? Help me understand what's its job in our deck, Jikerman? That over a 3/4 for 4, sometimes 4/4 menace for 4. Keep in mind, I play a ton of traditional on this account as well. The reasons my rank basically means nothing is because I'm playing across 3 accounts, and I am often playing best of 3 that doesn't affect rank. We're going to keep this. Yep, Zoff is our first land. Then we get Intimidator or Catcher. Let's see, if we go Intimidator here, we have options next turn, including Activate Intimidator, Play Catcher, etc., Play Axe. I think we just go Intimidator, basically. Yeah, if I'll tell you this, if Sneak didn't cost 2 to activate, I would love it. I think the fundamental ability on a Sneak is fine, but paying 2 mana for it is unacceptable. Especially when you're usually trying to be aggro. Here we're going to hazard the Wizard, Axe the Intimidator, and go. Or we could really just catch. I'm going to go catch and hazard, and then we'll Axe next turn. But I don't know how good that is. It's like, great. So I got Guide into Bug Catcher, and then what? I'm spending the next... When am I spending 2 mana to get my Bug Catcher through? Now, by the end of the game, yeah, I agree. Like, at just the right time, it's going to be great. I just think it's not doing enough in the medium times. Oh, the Party Pump, sure. So, I mean, we're excited because we're playing a 1/1 for 1 that turns our Bug Catcher into a 3/2. Like, I don't know, that doesn't sound that exciting either. They're drawing cards, that's great. We're just going to play Scorch Rider and get in. If we find a basic land on top, we can Axe and Champ next turn. Somebody wanted Axe and Pump. In general, when I have the ability to add to the board, like add a whole new creature to the board, or do some stuff to get extra damage in, I'm generally gonna... My heuristic is to add the whole new creature to the board. Alright, well now do I get to feed the Swarm correctly? I'm gonna feed and Axe, and they're gonna be way up against it. If they're not just dead. Yeah, it's true, they were all warriors. Don't matter. Cinderclasm could have made them... I guess, yeah. I don't know, that would have been a fine way to end my stream. Really, just 0-3, drop Mike out. Is this deck really playing that? I don't know, maybe. Decks with a lot of 1 toughness creatures just aren't usually running Cinderclasm, especially best of 1. Yeah, whatever. I'm not playing my sharpest today, and I don't really give an F. I'm saying that that deck and its 1 toughness stuff is a reason not to play it. Yeah, this is keepable. We got a 2, 3, and a 5. I'm gonna play Zoth as land, hold the Awakening. Well, Expert is an alternative to the Gloom Hunter, giving us a chance to kick the Gloom Hunter down the road. And we're getting towards the mana to do it already, so I think I'm going to play the Expert. Don't mind removal being used on our Expert. Doesn't seem like the important card, so I think we're quite happy for Oppo to do that. Well, having used small removal maybe inappropriately myself today, I feel Oppo. I feel Oppo. Maybe Oppo having a worse day than I am. Dusty keyboard there. I wanted to... shake it out. We'll see how many games you get with the sleeves. Maybe I'll give you a freebie tomorrow as well for the missed opportunities so far. Looks good. Zoth into Intimidator into Vanquish or Axe. Right on Tron. Sometimes Mole is experiencing their name. Cliff Claven Sellsword is going to be a coward here, I think. We could vanquish it, but let's we could vanquish, but I'm gonna race. Yeah, we could Wizzy now too and just get in for the 3. If we wizard, what are we pitching? Nah, no memes for the cowardice. I'm gonna... Yeah, I feel like Axe put him to the test is fine. Although with blue, I just expect to get roiled is the thing. I'm gonna do that though. Well, apparently I'm in the quitters bracket. Well, one more win and I'll be happy with this deck. I'm actually kind of happy at 3. I'll take 3. I don't think this deck is a good example of anything. It's not a good example of a red-black party deck. It's not a good example of a red warrior deck. It's an example of some decent cards backed up from with some less decent cards. But looks good again. We'll take it. Ideally, we Night Runner here after Oppo does nothing. That's the dream. If Oppo does something, we'll reconsider our options for next turn. That is effectively nothing, so we're going to go with the Night Runner plan. If they play anything vanquishable, we'll do that to clear the way. Well, we have no lands. We're out of lands, and if we can connect with Night Runner, we start drawing extra cards. The ability to connect and draw extra cards is totally worth it to me. In this case, I'm going to make this Dauntless Survivor a coward. Then it can block the runner if it wants to just have the runner eat it, or we connect and try to find our land. Yeah, I suppose they could have Vastwood, but we're taking that chance. Let's play this as land and then drop the wizard. And what do we want to pitch? The Awakening is really underwhelming. Let's just pitch this. I don't know when we're doing this Awakening for significant effect, given that I like every card in our hand except it. And we need land. Like if we draw land, we want to play land. If we draw spells, we are happy to have spells. So I just didn't see the Awakening producing much value for us. Here we can vanquish the 2/3, again clearing the way, and we can cowardice the survivor, and then it is another good attack, but I played a land again unconsciously. Again, bad habit of mine. Shouldn't have done that because we're trying to connect with the grow tag and see if that's going to be our land, and we don't need it to complete the play. So I deserve to hit a land on this one. I keep making that mistake, but I'm going to still follow through with my plan. One thing, you know, I'm not having a great day. I'm not in a good mental place. I'm not playing my best Magic. But one of the key things to do in this spot is when you hit your stumbles and when you realize, all right, I'm making more mistakes than usual, you still, like, you can get down on yourself and make more mistakes, or you can buck up and just try to win from here. And so I at least want to have that mentality of like, yep, screwed up again, but going to try to win from here. Oh, shoot, and I screwed up again, but I'm going to do... Now, I'm going to just leave the Intimidator back. Too many screw-ups. I'm going to send the runner, and I'm going to vanquish the Sentinel. So kind of just fumbling my way through this game, yet still doing okay. We can find a win. Always good when your opponent's big landfall stuff is not attacking. In this case, we can Scorch Rider and kick and potentially get in that way, but I like... now if we say Baloth can't block cowards, we could send in... Trouble is it can block the non-cowards, right? Well, if I can make this a coward, send the Intimidator, and then if they want to block, they have to block with their big guy. So, yeah, I'm just thinking, why don't we play the Vampire out now and do nothing here? Like, I don't want to give up the Intimidator. Yeah, we can haste the Rider and attack, and that's fine. You want to just do that? Offer that instead? Okay. This is either trade for Baloth or go to 6. We're happy with either one. That's fair. Next turn, if we find a basic, we have to decide between double spelling or activating Intimidator. And this is not going to be... So let's talk, you know, this is... I was pretty down on the idea of running the 1/1 unblockable friend for 1 over this Skitter Sneak. I was pretty vehement that this was better. We're in a spot here where, well, if we had the rogue that makes unblockable, our Night Runner could be getting through. That's not nothing. So I do want to acknowledge that it's not like the card does nothing. I just don't think it does enough. Let's go here, though. I want more warriors out. Let's go Vampire... And then hold. Starting to get to the territory where it is tough to find how we close, and that would be an argument, or, you know, if you ask what is the job for the 1/1 something can't be blocked, something small can't be blocked, is that it does represent inevitability in a board stall, which we don't have great means otherwise in the deck. There's our 7th land, so we can 2-spell now. And I still don't see us having great attacks here. The vampire, we could make something a coward and force some doubles on the vampire. Like, if we make the shepherd a coward, they have no clean 1-for-1. They have a dirty 1-for-1 in terms of, like, double blocking with Root Grazer and Nectar Pot. But I'm going to dump hand and see if we can't get wide enough from here. So this is going to be tough for our ground game to beat. At this point, I don't think we can win. Yeah, I know there's no shame in scooping. We've lost this game and just kind of letting Oppo have a little fun for themselves here. We just need to draw the Cinderclasm not in our deck. All right. Well, given how mediocre the deck was and how suboptimally I've been playing today, I suppose I should be pretty happy with a 3-3. Did not like the deck and did not like how I was playing it. So take the 3-3 and remember it could be worse, Ryan. It could always be worse. Except that's the wrong. All right. Hold on. There, that's what I was expecting to see. All right, that's better. See ya, Chemister. I don't have a link to the draft. I could probably use 17 lands. Maybe I should start doing that in my spreadsheet, linking to the actual draft that people can go back and look at. What do we call this deck? I can't remember. Thank you for the sub, D's. Appreciate that. I don't think I have it in me to continue, though. All right, YouTube friends, thank you so much for sticking through that one. I've created better content in my years, but still some fun stuff in that one. So thank you for sticking through to the end. Give me a like if you're feeling it, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye, YouTube.